So, I just want to let you know that you can make it. I want to let you know that you're gonna make it. You know, um, regardless of what it is that you're going through right now, um, how tough it may seem, how hard it may seem, how hopeless it may seem, you can make it. If you just keep moving forward, you keep taking the next step, you keep having your faith in God, and you keep your focus on the good things in your life, you can definitely make it. And I know about this because I was in the same position at one point in one place in my life. I had a really tough life, man. I had a really hard upbringing. I struggled a lot in life. And I didn't think I was gonna make it. You know, in my youth, when I was a kid, I used to sleep on the streets. I used to be kicked out of the house all the time. Um, you know, it was rough for me, man. I mean, I'm talking in the wintertime, in the rain, I'm sleeping on benches, I'm sleeping in cars, I'm sleeping on trains, I'm staying at random people's houses, um, and it was dark for me. I mean, it was mentally, it was dark. It was tough for me, man. I mean, it was plenty of times, plenty of days and nights that, I just thought about giving up. I thought about taking my own life, and I didn't. I couldn't see 46 when I was 16, when I was 13, when I was 19. I didn't believe I was going to make it to 17. I thought that, that God didn't love me. My mom didn't love me. I knew my dad didn't love me. And so it made it easier for me not to love me because it was prevalent in my life. It was normalized. It was like, well, this is what it is. And if it's going to be this struggle for the rest of my time, I don't want to be here till 46. I don't want to make it past 17 because this shit is terrible. It's rough. It sucks. And if it's going to be, another 30, 50 years of this, I don't even want no parts of it. But more than that, I didn't think that it just was in the cards for me because I thought shit was so dangerous for me. Shit was so, unstable for me that, man, this shit ain't gonna last long. Cause either I'm gonna off myself or I'm gonna get into a situation that is just gonna take me out of here. But, I had a couple people in my life that were really in my corner later on. Once I got like into my teens and whatnot, I was really going through it with my mom a lot. She was putting me out all the time, and I had some people that cared, but I didn't believe that they cared because my mom didn't care. So it took me a long time for me to really trust these people because my mom don't got my back. My mom is kicking me out all the time. Y'all not gonna be around. Like, you might like me right now, or once you get to really know me, or after some time, y'all not gonna be around. So I didn't really trust it. So even though I had some people in my corner, I wasn't fully utilizing those people. I wasn't really taking advantage and appreciating the fact that I had some people in my corner, because it was tough for me to believe that anyone would be in my corner, because the people that I felt was the closest to me were not in my corner. They were making life harder for me. And it took some time. I had to go through a lot more struggles, and even I thought when I was homeless that was the roughest time of my life, and it wasn't, man. It got worse because the law of attraction. Because once you start seeing your life as hopeless and hurtful and bleak and dark and dismal, you start attracting more of those type of situations and scenarios into your life. And even though you want it to be different, because you won't even verbalize it or see it or feel it any different, you're actually creating more of the same, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse, right? And it took for my mom to pass away. It took for me to lose a child. It took for me to lose my mind. I was I indulged in LSD and hallucinogenics and whatnot that really affected me in a bad way. I had really scary trips. I was afraid of a lot of things, like my life. And even though people were looking at me on the outside, they probably could not understand any of the things that was going on the inside of me. They're thinking, he's a smart guy, smart kid. He's he's handsome, well-spoken, but they can't really see all the things that are going on inside of me, all the anxiety, all the depression, all the fear, all the pain. I mean, to the highest level. I mean, crippling fear. I mean, times when I didn't even want to come outside. I didn't want to go anywhere. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to deal with anything. And I didn't know anything about therapy. And, at the time, like, especially for people of color, like, it was not well accepted. And also, I didn't have the resources. I didn't really know where to get it. And, even if I had the money, it just wasn't something that just was really in my realm. So I had to get to a point where I had to make a decision for myself, right? I had to say, either I'm going to die or I'm going to live. And I wanted to live, but I didn't know how I was going to do it because I didn't have nothing else in the tank. And that's why I give all the glory to God. That's why I thank God every day, because I know I didn't have it in me. I know I didn't have no more energy. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know how I was going to move forward and get to where I am right now, right? And I'm still not at the end of my destination, but where I am now, I could have never have seen myself back then, right? But I knew that I wanted to change my life, because a lot of the things that were happening to me when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, these were things that were put on to me. I didn't really have a choice. My mom, my dad, I never even met my dad. I don't know who he is. I don't know, what he looks like, none of that. But him not being in my life has had a major impact on my life, right? But these are things that I had no choice on. I was born into a situation. I had to deal with what I had to deal with. And then once I started getting a little bit older, then I started reading books and, really like trying to figure it out. I started going to church, just trying to figure out how I could make my life better. And then I started realizing that now my life is in my hands. I can make the choices to determine who I have become from this point on. From that point to this point, it was mainly based off of some other people's choices, some other people's decisions, some other people's influence of how I've become the person that I've become. Then, because of their influence on my life, it created a certain type of vibration in the spirit for me that I took further into my life on my own. And I didn't really know that I was doing it because I didn't know how life worked. I didn't understand how, how powerful your thoughts are, how powerful your tongue is. And so I was practicing the wrong things. I was thinking the wrong things. I was saying the wrong things, and I was doing a lot of the wrong things. And it was leading me to really bad places, man. Jail, being broke, poverty. I mean, we had come from poverty. My mom, was born into poverty. Part of my life, we grew up in poverty. At some point, my mom moved us to the suburbs, and that made things better. But we still were dealing with thought processes and pain and unresolved issues from coming from poverty, right? We lived in the projects. We lived in the hood. We lived through the crack era. We seen death and, a lot of our family members getting locked up and all kind of things that, a lot of my counterparts, when I moved to the suburbs, they had never even seen or thought of or experienced at all. And that's a good thing. I'm not downing it in any way. I'm not saying that they should. I don't, I'm just saying, giving perspective on where I come from. So, I saw that a lot of these thought processes and a lot of these things were like put on to me. And I had to start thinking my own thoughts and making my own decisions and being accountable and responsible for who I am, right? So even though I made that decision, I still didn't know how to do it. So I had to research it. I had to read books. I had to, really pray and look within and look around and talk to people and observe other people's lives and just have faith, because I still was in such a bad place, man. I mean, PTSD, my mental health was terrible. I mean, terrible. And like I said, the average person wouldn't know that unless they were really close to me and really my friend. They're looking at me from the outside. I'm popular. I make music. I'm, the ladies like me. I'm outgoing. So a lot of that was a distraction to people. They didn't really know what I was really dealing with, especially if they didn't know my history or my story. So, a lot of my relationships weren't very healthy or holistic. Some of the people that I was attracting into my life were not the best type of people that I should have had in my life, but I didn't really know any better yet because I hadn't learned different than what I had known at the beginning of my life. So it was a long process. It was a long transition, but I thank God every day that I stuck in there, that I kept moving forward, that I kept being open to learning, that I kept being faithful and believing in God. I mean, literally, like, I don't know who I would be today. I probably wouldn't be here today. I would probably be dead, in jail, on drugs, something, to the negative, to the opposite of who I am today. If it weren't for God, I give all the honor and the praise and the glory to God every single day, man. Like, and I know that there's some people that don't believe in God. I know that there's all different types of religions and whatnot, but I just got to tell you that God is real, right? And I'm not trying to convince anybody to be anything. I'm not talking about any specific religion or anything like that. I'm just saying, overall, God is real. God is in your life, and God is there if you want to tune in, if you want to pay attention, if you want to listen. God is there, but you got to get quiet so that you can hear. You got to be open to receive what God has for you and the plan that God has for your life. It sounds so easy right now. I'm just talking about it, but I'm telling you, it was tough for me. It was tough, but I had to stick in there. It was tough. I mean, even though I believed in God and I was moving forward, I kept getting hit with this and that. And, I kept struggling, with so many nights that I would take walks and just be looking up at the sky, asking God, when is it going to change? When is it going to get better? I used to be in the mirror in the bathroom. I wasn't happy with who I saw. I wasn't proud of myself. I would look in the mirror. I would be crying. I'd sit in the bathroom mirror for hours, man, just praying and pleading with God, wondering when my mind was going to get right, when my spirit was going to get right, when my life was going to get right, when everything that I wanted would be in alignment with what God was saying to me, or who I was, or where I was going. And I'm super thankful that I stuck in there, that I held on, and that I believe, because I know it's people right now. I know, at all points in your life, and not just, young people, but especially, young people that, it seems dark out there for you. You know what I'm saying? I know you might be sleeping outside. You might be sleeping at friends' houses. You might be at home and you going through with your parents, or things are pretty good for you, but you just don't understand why you feel the feelings that you feel, or the way that you feel, or you got a drug addiction, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you just in situations and you don't understand how they keep coming to you in this way. Or you could be an adult. You could be in your 40s. You could be in your 60s and still be dealing with things because you just aren't fully understanding how life works and why the things that are happening to you are happening, and how you could transition to a better life for you, and for you to transition to better feelings and a more peaceful mind and heart and spirit. It can be done, and I'm living proof of it. I'm not just talking to you from, some ivory tower. I know you see plaques in the background and it seems like I'm chilling now, but it took a long time for me to get to this point. I'm 46 years old now. I'm super duper duper blessed. I thank God every day. I was thanking God back then when things were tough for me, because I knew what I wanted, and I knew appreciation, and I just was happy to just wake up, period, because I knew from having so much loss in my life that I wasn't guaranteed the next day anyway, right? So every time I woke up in the morning, I would just say, thank you, Lord. Every time I ate some food, and I still do to this day, say, my grace, I thank God just for, it was times I didn't shower for a month. I get in the shower, it feels so good. I'm so thankful. I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful that I got a bed to sleep in, and I got a house, and I'm safe, because it wasn't like that for me so many days and so many nights. It was so painful and so hurtful knowing my mom is sleeping in the house and I'm sleeping on a bench somewhere and it's drizzling or it's snowing, or I'm sleeping in some abandoned building, or I'm sleeping in some apartment that's under construction right now. Or when my mom would be at work, I would go sleep on my porch just so I could feel a little bit safer. I'm like, well, I don't got the key to go in the house, but I'm gonna sleep out here because at least, nobody will bother me. If somebody says something to me, I can be like, well, I live here. If the cops come or somebody is like, what you doing here? Because I've been in those situations where, I'm sleeping somewhere and somebody, is like, why are you sleeping here? And now it's a problem. And you know what I mean? I just didn't want to go through those kind of things. So, to anyone, everyone that's feeling hopeless, that's feeling like they can't make it, that's feeling like, it's tough, it's painful, it's hurtful. Like anyone that feels like giving up, that feels like dying, that feels like, crying all the time and, that they can't make it. I'm telling you that you can. I'm telling you that you will. I'm telling you that if you believe in God and you believe in yourself and you believe in what you want out of life and you make a decision to live every day for those things and to be thankful for the little things that you do have, because as bad as it is, there's somebody's life that's worse than yours. And that's one of the things that I kept in the back of my mind. I was going through some of the toughest things of anyone that I knew personally, but you've seen articles or read things on TV, or read things in the news or seen things on TV or whatever. People, they ain't got no legs. They live in another country. They ain't got no running water. So as bad as it was for me, I'm like, man, it's people that's still alive out here, still living every day, and they got it worse than me. So I'm going to stick in here. If they can, I'm going to stick in here and I'm going to figure it out, and I did. I stuck in there every day, man. I don't know how I did it. Like I said, it wasn't me. It was all God. Literally, but I told God what I wanted to do, and he had my back. He was like, yo, I know you don't know what to do, but I know what to do. And if you're willing to listen, I'm going to show you the way. Just follow me. And I'm super thankful, man. Like literally, like I'm so blessed. I'm so appreciative of my life at this point, and I'm so amazing. Now when I look in the mirror, I'm super proud of myself. I'm super thankful, that I made it thus far. I'm super thankful to God. I'm super thankful for the people that I have in my life and the people that I was telling you about that were in my life when I was a teenager, and that, it was one of the roughest times of my life. These people are still in my life today. This is like 30 something years later. But had I given up, I wouldn't know that they was really down for me. Had I given up, I might have really hurt those people, because they really love me. They still love me to this day. I'm a part of their family. They consider me one of their children. And I'm super thankful for them, But I couldn't have seen it come to full fruition had I, not submitted to what I really knew I had in my heart and what the plan that God had for me. And had I not followed it, even though it was tough, even though it was hard. But, it's so many things out here that's rough and tough and hard. You might as well work on making your life better and it be rough and tough and hard than you going through drug addiction or in and out of jail. I'd rather be going on the path to get to the positive place that I want in my life, and it's tough for me, than going in the opposite direction and it's tough for me. You got to choose your tough. You got to choose which one of these is going to benefit me better. Yeah, both of them is going to be hard on me, but at some point this one is going to get easier and easier and easier and smoother and better and more rewarding and more favorable. And I'm going to be happier and I'm going to be more blessed and I'm going to learn things and I'm going to grow and I'm going to be able to give to other people. And then I'm going to have a testimony to be able to tell people how great God is, and to tell people how great life is. And I might be able to save somebody's life. I might be able to touch somebody's heart. I might be able to be there for somebody when they're going through the same type of things that I was going through. And I give all the honor and the glory to God. And I'm just thankful that I'm able to do that I'm able to be that I am, at this point, that I am blessed, that I am strong, that I am smart, that I am powerful. I couldn't have done it by myself, I mean, and, I wouldn't have it any other way. So I just want to let everybody know, I want you to be encouraged that whatever it is that you're going through, just keep going. Don't stop. Don't look back, and focus on whatever little small good things that you can see in your life. Magnify those things. Be thankful for them, and you're going to make it, like literally, like you're going to make it. If you're 16, one day you're going to be 46. If you're 26, one day you're going to be 46. And if you keep going in the right direction, you're going to be happy. You're going to be blessed. It's going to come off of you. You're going to feel free, And if you're 46 and you're going through it, maybe by next year or in 2 years or whatever, tomorrow. But if you make the decision right now, you can be happy right now. It's just a choice that you got to make inside. Like, you can focus on the good in your life. I know, oh man, my bills not being paid, or this or that, or whatever, or I'm not in the position or the space or place that I want to be right now. But you're going to be going through the whole journey to get there miserable and hurt. And you might not get there that way. You got to make a decision to be faithful to yourself, to be committed to yourself, to love yourself, and to be as happy as you can possibly be at this moment right now. And if you do that, like how I said, I was attracting more negative and hurtful situations into my life. If you focus on the good in your life, you'll attract more and more and more good situations into your life. Better and better and better opportunities, and just daily life activities, friends, family members, just thoughts. And it will turn your life around. It takes time. It's a process. If you want to change it this second, you can. But I understand being programmed to a certain point, and it takes some time for you to start, slowly coming out of that. I don't expect everyone to do it instantly, quick, cold turkey, thinking these thoughts or living this way or, thinking these thoughts, whatever. But it can be done. But I also understand the process of, daily working on yourself, getting better and better, like, going to the gym, but don't stop. Because when you stop going to the gym, you were getting to the point you were about to start seeing results. Now you're not going to see those results, right? It's the same thing. You got to be committed. You got to work on yourself daily. You got to work on yourself every single second. You got to be mindful of your thoughts, and you got to pay attention to God. You got to pay attention to what God is telling you, and you got to be thankful for that. Just the fact that you might feel like all these other people aren't supporting you and loving you the way that they should, but God does. And you got to foster that relationship with God. You got to look for it first. You got to ask God to come into your life and to help you out, and then be open for it. And then don't be cursing God, and don't be mad when it doesn't go exactly how you wanted it to go, because it's not about your plan. It's about God's plan. So, I just wanted to share that, obviously that's not the answer to all, that's just how I felt today. And, if anyone, is hearing this and, it encourages you to do better or to, feel better or to, just stick in there. I just want to let you know that you gonna make it. That's facts. You gonna make it. And I'm living proof of it. And I thank God for it every day. And I just wanted to let y'all know that. All right? Peace.